Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Today's video, we got some of the most mysterious videos you're going to see on the internet today. Before we get into that, y'all, let's hit a personal best. Let's get 3,000 likes on the video. It's never been done for me. Let's do it. But I ain't going to sit here and talk all day. Y'all know what you're here for. Let's get into the video. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
My mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool. These scissors really come in handy in art class. These colored pencils too.
These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
Damn.
I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
In 1859, a man in San Francisco named Joshua Norton declared himself the Emperor of the United States and Protector of Mexico. He would walk the streets of San Fran in full uniform and take note of the condition of the sidewalks and construction zones. He would then inform the police and the newspapers of all of his findings and then be on his way. He also issued various decrees, including dismissing the governor of Virginia for hanging the abolitionist John Brown and dissolving the entire United States, which he was the emperor of. The people in San Francisco would actually go along with it and seemed to really like the eccentric Emperor Norton. He printed his own money, which the people of San Francisco accepted as real money. He was also given free meals and free drinks pretty much anywhere he went. Mark Twain, who lived in San Francisco during Emperor Norton's reign, was fascinated by him and even based the character of the king in Huckleberry Finn on Emperor Norton. When he died in 1880, an estimated 10,000 people showed up to his funeral.
Okay, I'm going to kind of try and proceed with this very calmly here, but this is a big one. This is probably the biggest video I'm probably going to do. Stephen Greer, Dr. Stephen Greer, has just released all of the information regarding everything that he said him and his colleagues are doing at Disclosure Project on his website. dpiarchive.com. Now, before I say any of this, I strongly suggest for any of you that are interested in learning more about this, who have been following me for a while on all things related to the UFO topic, to get your rear end on here and sign up as quickly as possible before this shit gets taken down. Because the shit I'm looking at right now, this is what catastrophic disclosure looks like. If any of this is real, I can't believe what I'm reading here. I've looked through some of the documents already. By the way, kudos to UFOs around the world. Thank you very much for tagging me in this. I've had a read through a few of the documents. If it's fake, it's a bloody good fake. But a lot of the military classified documents in this archive appear to be legitimate on first glance. I need to do a lot more digging. But as far as I'm concerned, if I'm Christian Harloff, which I'll tag you in this video. If I am Ross Coulthard, if I am anyone, I don't know, God, Jesus, I can't even remember names right now. This is so shocking to read. George Knapp, I'll be like this, I'll be all over this like flies on shit. This.
Minimize exposure to the pesticide, please. Go indoors immediately until the trucks have passed.
They sprayed something in the air, bro. Corona 24 or something.
I'm
Damn.
telling you, vámonos pa' Europa, loca. Me voy pa' Europa.
Ever wonder what it's like to take a spin in a self-driving car? Zoox is an automated car, and they're doing free test drives in Las Vegas. They're doing it at Resorts World, and we had a few hours before we could check in, so we took advantage. I have never been in an automated car before, so I was kind of freaking out, but our attendant was so cute and nice. All you had to do was press start, and this thing started moving. Not gonna lie, I was a little freaked out, to say the least. Anyway, I finally let go and just let this thing drive us around. My friends were relatively calm, and we were just hanging out and having a good time, except for me. I kept watching the stoplights and people cutting in front of us, but the car responded very well. There was a cell phone port for charging, and then you could listen to whatever kind of music you wanted to. We did have one of their tail vehicles like follow us part of the way. I don't know if they were just filming or whatnot, but honestly, we ended up just going back down the strip, and it was a really cool way to see Las Vegas. I can definitely see this being the future of ride sharing, so Uber and Lyft definitely have some competition coming. The ride took a total of 30 minutes, and we arrived safe and sound back at Resorts World. Highly recommend trying this out.
Let me get this straight. I can go to the store and buy a loaf of bread in a plastic bag, sliced meat in a plastic bag, cheese in a plastic bag, and chips and salsa in a plastic tub and a plastic bag. But when I go to check out, I can't have a plastic bag to take it home because it's bad for the environment.
I need to change my diet, my thought process, my thinking process.
What's the problem when you meditate?
What's the problem?
Thoughts keep coming?
Yes.
And they won't stop?
Yeah.
There ain't no problem. So you think there's a problem, you meditate. Listen, when them thoughts come, what come next is what you don't wait for. Right? Listen, let me tell you what I mean, right? If you sit down and you try to meditate and you don't do it for 30 minutes, you might as well stop. Right? Because listen, it's going to take 15, 20 minutes for all them thoughts to come up in your head. And the first thing to come in your head is going to be bad. You got to sit through it. Right? A lot of people can't sit through it. They want to get over it because them thoughts won't go away. They think they're doing it wrong. You ain't doing it wrong. You just got a whole lot of soul.
Take a look at his cup, y'all. If we've been seeing the interviews from my past couple videos, he doesn't have a drink in that cup. He's got a bag. So he's putting stuff in that cup.
Trauma that you got to get through. And you can't get through it in 5 minutes. Got us?
Okay.
All right? You got to sit down for like these 30. And after 30 minutes, you're going to get a breath of fresh air. And then you're going to hear a voice.
So
and it's going to give you the solution.
That's a way I can get rid of my trauma?
Yeah, listen. Well, that's going to be a way that you can meditate, and that's a start. That's not the only solution. To get rid of your trauma, you got to align your whole body because your whole body is in trauma, not just your mind.
What are we even doing anymore? I haven't called out the music industry in quite some time now because things have got so weird, and really I just don't know how to explain them anymore. Usually there's some symbolism behind this. Maybe you guys can fill me in, but The Weeknd was going viral for this tongue thing that he was doing, and other hip-hop artists have started to follow this, including Wiz Khalifa. I'll show you that in a second. But I mean, the captions behind this are people, they feel very uncomfortable when they're watching this, and to me it looks quite demonic. The Weeknd has been known to have pretty dark looking concerts, especially because his backup dancers are always dressed up in these red robes, and he himself is always in a robe as well, so I guess I'm not too surprised. But then I saw a video recently of Wiz Khalifa doing it, and this, I have no comment, but you can tell, of course, the vibe and everything, it's all just red, and he's doing this, and it looks like there's just very dark energy going on at these concerts. That's just my opinion, and many people, especially the fans of these artists, are gonna think I'm crazy, but that's exactly why I made these t-shirts. The Truth on Trial. It's a t-shirt that also carries a message. The link is in my bio, or comment t-shirt and I'll DM you the link.
Dope t-shirt.
Who is this? Ah! Who is this right here? Because this doesn't look like Slim Shady, bro. Straight up and down. I'm getting tired of this, to be honest with you. I thought he had blue eyes. In this picture, his eyes look black. And to be honest with you, I know people that have fake beards. So this beard is not looking real either, honestly. Now, I'm not sure if it's allergy season, but something seems to be wrong with his eye. Oh, we know what time is it. Yep. These guys take a lot of cool pictures. But what about this? Huh? What about this? Because this looks like the real Slim Shady. Who is this guy? Huh? Who is he? And this Slim Shady, I mean Eminem, always has a hat on. Why is that? But these two Eminems have their hat off. what is going on with Eminem, man. Because right here, he was throwing up some cool hand signs. But this Eminem right here looks like he's lost, like he's out of it. Like he doesn't know where to go. People are saying they don't think this is the real Eminem. Listen, people change for the better. Who is that? Because he doesn't look like the Slim Shady that I grew up on. Trust me, I was a big fan, so I know Slim Shady when I see Slim Shady. But to be honest with you, I don't know anything because this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just playing around. People do change, all right? And they change for the better. They don't always change for the worse. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think about this. Is that Eminem or is it not? I'm out.
The Grada Treaty, so spooky, so creepy. A treaty made between President Dwight Eisenhower with aliens.
Yeah, okay.
The theory is there's two different types of aliens that came to meet with Eisenhower. The Nordics, tall, pale, beautiful looking, human-like aliens. They offered Eisenhower they would speed up the technology to where there wouldn't be any more diseases, world peace, clean energy, in exchange for disarming your nuclear warheads.
Oh, that seems
Getting rid of them.
reasonable.
Then after that, these other aliens appeared, and they were the Greys, and they offered just to the United States, we'll give you advancements in technology, weaponry. You'll be the #1 powerhouse in the world. In exchange, you let us experiment on humans. And that's what they ended up agreeing with. The crazy thing is, it was actually reported in the newspaper that President Eisenhower died because he was missing. They're saying that he was actually at this Air Force Base meeting, but the cover story was that he had a chipped tooth and had to get emergency dental work. But there's no records of him going to the dentist or getting this dental work. It all sounds.
They also say part of the deal was you can only experiment with people out in the boonies, out in the middle of the woods, out, that live, in small population towns. That's the only place. You can't get people from the city. That's what they say part of that deal was too.
Somebody use their imagination.
This YouTuber is claiming that Roblox has banned all his accounts and even sent him a cease and desist letter for exposing predators on their platform. Schlepp has over 700,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he primarily makes videos about exposing predators in the Roblox community. In fact, he says that his work has led to 6 arrests in real life. So with that in mind, I don't think he was expecting Roblox to react like this. In the legal letter, they said that he was engaging in unauthorized and harmful activities on the platform, that he exposed users to increased risk, and violated the game's policies. Now, Schlepp was outraged because Roblox has long been accused of not doing enough to stop predators using their platform, which is partly why vigilantes like Schlepp have started taking action of their own. In fact, Schlepp said that he himself was groomed on the platform when he was a child. So for the company to end up threatening him with legal action, it's got a lot of people real angry. They said, while Roblox acknowledges that your stated intentions may be to protect children, your methods, including failing to immediately report suspicious activity to Roblox through proper channels, are actively interfering with Roblox's established safety protocols and critically are exposing Roblox users to increased risk. Now, Schlepp has responded, insisting that he has reported through proper channels many times before without success, saying, "We send you everything." Now, the backlash to this has been pretty intense. A lot of the gaming community have sided with Schlepp, leading to a Roblox mass unfollowing movement trending, and even with users going after the CEO personally. However, some have sided with Roblox, saying you can't just go out and fight crime if you feel like the police aren't doing enough, and that this should be left to the people who are trained to do so. So, what do you guys think? Is it fair that Schlepp got banned, or should he be allowed back on the platform to continue his good work?
In 1959, a psychologist locked 3 men with the same delusion in a room together for 2 years just to see what would happen. And the results were shocking, to say the least. Psychologist Milton Rokeach had been treating 3 patients who all believed they were Jesus Christ. They were located at Ypsilanti Mental Hospital in Michigan, and Rokeach thought to himself, well, I have these 3 guys who all think they're Jesus Christ. If I just put them in a room together, maybe they'll all realize that they can't all be Jesus Christ and therefore snap them out of their delusion. But what he found is that actually when confronted with the truth, each individual would dig their heels in even further, inventing wilder and wilder scenarios to justify how they were the true Jesus Christ. After 2 years, Milton finally called it quits on the experiment, and he ended up writing a book called The 3 Christs of Ypsilanti, where he came to the conclusion that, ironically, while he had been unsuccessful in breaking the patience of their divine delusions, they had unknowingly broken his, as he realized this entire experiment was just him playing God in a different way. My name's Allie and I co-host the podcast Let's Get Haunted. If you'd like to learn more about the three Christs of Ypsilanti or psychosis in general, check out episode 229 of my show where we talk about ChatGPT's psychosis. See you guys there.
Sexy baby! You are such a sexy baby! I'm proud of you, proud. Make daddy love you. Sexy baby.
Sexy baby.
Sexy baby.
Welcome to another episode of Man with a Wholesome Public Persona is actually a horrifying monster with decades of people screaming behind him. Allegedly. This is Tom Hanks, beloved actor, and those clips I showed you are from a sketch he did with Jimmy Kimmel about 14 years ago. Now, this was the era of toddlers and tiaras, and it was popular to do sketches like this with the intention of how creepy pageants like these are. So I could dismiss this as a poor taste satire like the early 2000s were riddled with, except the story of Tom Hanks does not quite end with this joke. In 2018, a woman named Sarah Ruth Ashcraft came out with really serious allegations against Tom Hanks, a fact that you will find nowhere on the internet anymore unless you search the archives. In fact, if you try Googling her name, nothing comes up, which feels reminiscent of women like Fiona Barnett, who I've also covered here. Sarah's allegations were not just towards Tom Hanks, it was towards an entire ring that she claimed her own family sold her into, so the claims here feel really outlandish. I don't even know that I would have mentioned it here if what happened next didn't happen. When Sarah came out with her story, it piqued the interest of a woman named Tracy Twyman. She began working with Sarah in order to get her story told in the mainstream. Sarah was not the only person that she was working with at this time. It seemed like Tracy was a part of the mass collaboration to expose the island, but that all came to a stop only a few months later when Tracy would be found unalived in 2019. This unaliving was ruled as self-inflicted, but she made multiple blog posts claiming that she was being threatened just days leading up to her death. Sick. We haven't heard that one before. The late Kyle Marissa Roth had numerous videos covering Tom Hanks if you're interested, and if this story wasn't convincing enough to you, you can go down an entire rabbit hole if you Google this man, whose name I won't say here because when you do talk about this guy on the internet, your video goes poof. Isn't that weird? Isn't that funny? But hey, maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe he's totally innocent and everyone else is crazy. There's an easy way to find out. Do you know how? Release the list, right? Right? Like, release the list. This is for entertainment purposes only. What do you guys think?
Every zodiac sign is a demon. Every zodiac sign is a demon. So what happens when you claim the identity of that zodiac sign over you, when you come into agreement with the zodiac sign, with the birth chart, the moon cycles, whatever, you are literally yoking to a demon of that particular sign or element because you are taking its identity as your own identity. You are coming into agreement with the personality traits that the zodiac assigns you, right? Signs you, the zodiac assigns you. So if you say, oh, I'm an Aries, just unpredictable and full of rage, that is you yoking yourself to the unclean spirit of that zodiac. And thus, when we do so, their personality works through us. Because demons are spirits without a body. They need a home. By calling yourself Leo, Gemini, Sagittarius, by calling yourself that by name, you are calling yourself by the name of a demon, okay? The world, the astrological birth chart spoke the demonic prophecy of Gemini over me. And when I spoke that over myself, I was giving the spirit of double-mindedness permission to operate through me. And guess what I was? I was double-minded. Guess what I had to be delivered from? Double-mindedness. Okay?
All fishermen smoke and they consume massive amounts of caffeine. And on other boats, they consume massive amounts of stimulants too. That's like a little dirty secret. If you watch The Deadliest Catch, all those dudes are high. But I flop down on a seat. Dave flops down on a seat. I'm about to smoke a cigarette. And it's nice. It's really nice out. You can see the whole sea. The sun's coming up. It's beautiful. You hear the seagulls chirping. We're probably 50 miles out. And I just hear, wah, wah, wah. It's the emergency alarm going off, right? I'm like, what the heck? And I turn around like this. And the second I turn around, I just see this gigantic mountain of bright jade green. It looked bright jade green. It was backlit by the sun. Mountain of water come in, and I had a split second to go, and it just crashed into me. Smash! I go into the washing machine, literally. I'm being flown around in this thing, and I just do what I was trained to do, which is you go in as wide a starfish position as you can to make some kind of contact with anything, right? And I'm in this washing machine being thrown around and crushed. I can feel the physical sensation of being crushed by the weight of water. Like, this wasn't like when you wade into the ocean and a big wave hits you. This is like standing on your floor right now and a giant mountain, like a 20-foot wave comes in and just crushes you. And this went on for a couple seconds, and then I come to and I'm flat out on the deck, starfished like this. And I look over and Dave is in the same position. And I finally hear all the servos and the whole boat stops running. Like, you're always hearing the sound of machinery. The boat gets extremely quiet and the whole crew comes running out. And to their credit, they did the exact right thing. They picked us up and they dragged us into the breezeway and they immediately start tearing all our clothes off. Because you got your wets, your sweats, your underwear, everything. Strip us completely naked and we're bundled up in like wool blankets. They totally wrapped us up like burritos in wool blankets and they pulled us into the kitchen where the heaters were on. Sitting there shaking. They're like, "Are you okay? You okay?" And it took me a few seconds to come to and kind of, I was like, yeah, like I'm all right.
Watch how fake this CPR is, bro. Ready? This is him on the stretcher. Watch, look how fake, look. Does this look real, dude?
This is the way they're trying to...
Bro, and what do you see behind him? What do you see behind him? Orange
cone.
There you go.
Okay, this is the way they try to bring him back to life?
Bro,
they're tapping the red button or what?
Oh, look, you found it. I didn't even find it, dude. 13.
Y'all, I kid you not, this question made my phone black out, okay? Me and my husband were talking, and I asked him what's the significance of the number 8 as to why we're pushed to work 8 hours, go to school for 8 hours, and sleep for 8 hours. I shit you not, when I go back to my phone to touch it, it's blacking out. It's cutting the fuck up. So I had to look it up. So, 8 hertz frequency, or 8 Hz, I'm guessing Hz is hertz. That frequency is connected to the alpha brainwave state, which is associated with relaxation, focus, and creativity. It is believed to help synchronize the brain's hemisphere and promote regeneration in the nervous system. It's also strongly linked to karma, suggesting that what one puts out into the world will eventually return. The number 8 is associated with leadership, ambition, and material success. So in essence, the number 8, and particularly its associated frequencies are seen as powerful symbols of abundance, balance, and the interconnectedness of actions and consequences in the universe. Stay with me. Why is the number 8 so powerful in numerology? It represents the infinite flow of energy, symbolized by its shape, a continuous loop with no beginning and no end. So they push 888, 8 hours of work, 8 hours of rest, and 8 hours of play. So that structure can be used as a tool for balance and more as a tool for control. So it claims that we have 8 hours of free will. And in reality, that free time is often taken up by commuting, errands, cooking, chores, and recovery from stress, leaving many people with little to no time for creativity, deep rest, spiritual practice, or personal growth. Spiritually, this keeps people operating in survival mode instead of thriving mode. Our bodies and minds are still wired to seasonal and daylight rhythms, not fixed industrial clocks. Being locked into 8-hour chunks cuts us off from the sun cycles, moon phases, and intuitive work/rest flows that ancient cultures respected. This disconnection can weaken mental clarity, emotional balance, and even spiritual sensitivity. Critics even argue that the system benefits those at the top. Workers exchange the majority of their waking life for wages, leaving them with limited energy to question the system or build independence. From a spiritual perspective, this keeps people energetically drained, making them easier to influence and less likely to pursue deeper consciousness or liberation. In short, the 888 push is that it looks balanced on the surface, but in practice, it can become a mechanism of control, standardizing human life in a way that benefits institutions more than individuals, dulling self-awareness and reducing the time we can dedicate to personal freedom, creativity, and spiritual growth.
Something massive is going on all over the earth. I have a lot to show you guys, and it's not a good thing. Wait until you see what I found. I truly don't even know where to start. We have some sources right now saying as many as 300 people have died in Pakistan due to all this crazy flooding. By the way, absolutely unrelated, not relevant whatsoever. Did y'all forget that Pakistan was just visited by the Green Comet? What was that name for that other green comet? Oh, it was the Devil's Comet. The same exact color comet that visited at the time of the eclipse, the same exact color comet that went over Spain before all that crazy flooding, and now it's crazy fire all over Europe. Sorry. Come right back to the fires because cars are melting again. But this right here is just unreal. And the last few weeks I've been showing you guys this and no news seems to want us to cover it. They might be doing it now, but Greece has been on fire, Turkey on fire, Spain on fire. But now since everyone's paying attention, it's been on fire over there for a month, right? And we've had cars quite literally melting. The glass, the aluminum, the wheels, everything. Like, how is it possible that all of Europe has been on fire for straight months with no way to put it out? We have, again, cars melting, and also in that video I showed you an unrelated magazine cover. And while we're talking about weather, completely 1000% unrelated, we just had the sky turning dark purple in a few states yesterday. Wonder what that could mean. And this is South Korea right now. You remember a few weeks ago what happened in South Korea? This up here just happened in South Korea. So 1 month is on fire, the next it's flooding. I'm just at a loss of words at this point. Oh, and by the way, with the fires, in just Greece alone, they have 5,000 active firefighters. But these flames just never go out, and they melt cars. And even right now in California, we have 130,000 acres burning in one location. But I guess that's just the world that we live in, right? And completely not unrelated, we have Hurricane Erin, which keeps trending more south. I feel very strongly that it's going to smash into the Carolinas. It's too soon to tell. Oh, and totally don't forget that last month we just had the Gray Man, this ghost that's in Pawleys Island, South Carolina, that supposedly warns of hurricanes that are coming. Let's see what happens.
Have you seen Michelle Obama's new podcast?
Have you seen her old picture?
Listen. I mentioned the podcast because she on there with her brother. Her brother looks like a woman trying to be a man.
Yeah.
And she look like a man trying to be a woman. Like, you can see in his face that he's like some kind of trans man or something like that.
Just like a whole.
He got super feminine facial features and she got super masculine facial features and shit. And she be on there bashing the fuck out of Obama, man.
And then that same political party has bills to give male inmates free sex change surgery.
Crazy. I peeped that.
They also passed bills to get free transitioning services.
Right.
Yeah, with the medicine.
And then they say 77% of people who transition back.
Yeah, at least try to. Because they can't go back.
And I seen they passed some laws saying that if you wouldn't let your kid go through with it if they wanted to and they voiced that they wanted to change,
They can take them away.
Ridiculous.
In different states, like in California and stuff like that. They ain't playing that in Florida and stuff, though.
They considered it a form of child abuse. That's insane.
Yeah, that trans thing is a whole nother can of worms, you know what I'm saying?
Pause.
Yeah.
Can of worms.
Can of worms?
We're about to go on a run here through DC and show you what it looks like now that the Trump administration has sent in the National Guard and federalized our police force. Didn't even get to start the run. I'm on my block. We've got police right here. This is Border Patrol, and then these are some unmarked vehicles, as well as more Border Patrol. Now following that group of cars, we're about 4 blocks in. All right, just got to Union Station. Here is what the scene looks like. Kind of a weird scene here, but we've got 3 of these military trucks sitting behind me. Now I'm headed in the direction of the Capitol. There's a bunch of whistles blowing, as well as a bunch of sirens coming up the street, it sounds like. I'm not sure what building this is, but it turns out it's megaphones and pots and pans, and they're trying to disturb whatever building this is. Just to be 100% clear, none of these videos are meant for like fear-mongering, not trying to scare anyone. I just simply want to show you what it looks like and obviously draw your own conclusions. I'm not here to necessarily put out a narrative, but at the same time, if there is something that is blatantly obvious and a threat to people's safety and other DC residents, I'm going to call it out in the video, even if it's my opinion. I just circled back to head back to Martin Luther King Jr. Library now that it is shut down to see what happens. And in front of me, I have about 8 agents along with police. We got Border Patrol, Secret Service, Homeland Security Investigations, and one that just says Federal Agent.
Get the fuck out of my city! Your brother never loved you!
There's a group of Border Patrol and MPD behind me. They just stopped 2 men for smoking weed, which to my knowledge is legal in DC. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong. Just in the few blocks that I walked alongside those federal agents, the number of scared reactions that I saw from people of color that were walking just down the street minding their business was insane. Just to give you an example, a black mother and her son was walking down the street. The second they turned the corner and saw the agents walking towards them, she immediately grabbed her son's hand and told him, when you see these people out here walking around, you're gonna hold my hand because I want them to know that you're mine and you're not out here causing trouble because we don't want any trouble with them. It was truly just so disheartening to see. I'm popping by the White House right now just to see if there's any protests going on. Not much going on, just seemed like tourists. I'm at the George Washington University campus now. There was heavy presence here tonight. Not so much anymore. There's a couple individuals hanging out by some of the tents that are normally here, so I'm gonna go see what's being said there. So this is right here in front of some of the tents here at Washington Circle by GW campus. Again, I don't necessarily want to show faces, but one person was picked up here by a shelter van that took him to a local shelter as opposed to being surrounded here in Washington Circle by a bunch of federal agents. It sounds like there's a lot of confusion between the different agencies and who's in charge of what. For example, at that location, DC police was putting up a bunch of notices on all the tents, letting people know that they do have to leave the area eventually. Some agencies showed up and honored that and basically moved on with their night. It sounds like some of the other agencies would show up and basically ignore the notice and start asking people, hey, do you have somewhere you can go right now? You gotta go. It wasn't forceful, but I'm sure it's definitely causing some confusion amongst the unhoused people here. I was just in Wawa, and 2 DC police officers were in there talking to each other. I listened to them as they chatted amongst themselves when they realized that they got the official notification that they are allowed to ask immigration status of people that they detain. They looked at each other and immediately shook their heads, and then one of them said, that ain't my job. That just tells me that the police here even feel like it's an overreach. All right, now that's all I got for tonight, so good night.
Humanity, you gave me $30,000, and I gave you my heart. You gave me your faith when I disappeared, and I gave you my promise that I would never quit and never give up, and now we are here after 5 years of hard work, 8 months of back-breaking upgrades and labor. It is the last time to run the world's first solar, continuous, say it with me, microwave, pyrolysis, reactor, baby, Mark 4.5. We are here. And when I turn this machine on, it will be history. Not only because it is an invention and the first of its kind, but because this is sending a message to the world, letting the world know that we are done. It does not matter. We're not going to wait on some big corporation, some big government to do what needs to be done. If we need to do it ourselves, we will do it ourselves because this is our world. This is our earth. And we care and we protect it. And we protect and care for each other too. So, without further ado, desde mi corazón y mi alma, vamos! We got the vacuum pulled. It's time to turn on the magnetrons now. We are now operating at full power. At full power, absolute capacity. We are consuming 12,000 watts. It's happening! Look at that! It's happening. We all know what that means. Oh my goodness, take a look. There's the oil, everybody. Now is the moment that will make or break this machine. We're about 2 hours in. Now it's time to load in plastic while the machine is running. Now that we have this loaded with plastic, we'll close this valve and then close this valve, pull a vacuum on the thing. Vacuum is being pulled on the chamber. We are now opening this chamber. Oh, look at that. All right, we'll turn on the blades. Beautiful. That's literally exactly how I want it. Just like that. These blades spinning, plastic falling in while the machine is on, while the machine is hot, while we're still making fuel, baby. The world's first solar continuous microwave pyrolysis reactor. I fed in the plastic from up here too fast, clumped together.
Mad
That's
scientist.
what happens. That's why we had to employ this really sophisticated auger blade system, because plastic, especially under these conditions, loves to just get staticky and clumped together. Fortunately, I think I could fix this, but not while the machine is running.
This is why NBA viewership is in the toilet. In order to watch NBA games on any day of the week, you would need 5 streaming or television platforms to watch it. If you made it this far into the video, please hit that follow. I could already hear the comments saying, oh, but NFL, you need just as many things to watch. Yeah, but you know Thursday night, that is Amazon Prime. And for all the specials like Netflix on Christmas, they advertise that and market that until it's in your brain and you know. They can't do this with the NBA because it's every single day. It's not like a special thing where you just need like Peacock for one game on Black Friday or something. You literally have to like pull out a spreadsheet to see what station or what streaming platform you need to watch that specific game on that specific night. It's genuinely exhausting, and a hot take for a fix for this would be to only play NBA games on like 4 days a week so you can market that and you know, okay, well, Wednesday night, that is, you know, NBC night, and then like Saturday you got the Amazon Prime and ABC, and the other 2 days are like ESPN and Peacock. That is the only solution I see to this streaming problem.
Y'all just not find it weird how when we die, we get put in caskets? When you die, your body is biodegradable. You're supposed to go back to the earth where you came from. That's why it's so weird to me that humans have this tradition of putting each other in caskets. That shit is so unnatural and so fucking weird. Other animals, they have funerals for each other, but they don't put each other in a box though. Like crows and ravens, they have funerals for each other all the time. Humans really just do shit that's just not normal. We really just fuck up the natural order of stuff.
Didn't I tell y'all when y'all see this face that I'm about to drop a truth bomb on you? Candace Owens. Should have known that you was a controlled op. Y'all check out these clips. You exposed, Candace. You are exposed.
She's just another controlled opposition puppet. Candace Owens was definitely planted in the right-wing conservative media space. This is easy to see and hard to deny. She literally came out of nowhere and was being tweeted out by Kanye West and being invited on Fox News. That was the first obvious red flag and clear indication that she is controlled opposition. The system only bigs up those a part of the system. If Candace wasn't a part of that system, she wouldn't be tweeted out by Kanye or being invited on Fox News. She definitely wouldn't have 4 million followers or have that much algorithm support on YouTube and social media. All of this attention she is receiving proves the machine is pushing her. After looking deeper into her, I was able to find definitive proof that she's controlled opposition. See, Candace Owens was initially releasing her shows through a platform called Praise For You. Her Candace Owens show was hosted on there from 2018 until 2021. Praise For You is basically controlled by the Wilkes brothers, 2 billionaire brothers who invested over $8 million in that company. These billionaire elites, who made their money in petroleum, used PagerU to push whatever propaganda they wanted to push. Candace was just another mouthpiece to push whatever propaganda they wanted. In fact, Candace Owens even rallied for the private prison industries, the people who have monetized incarceration and has used shady techniques to increase the number of inmates they get. For example, like I explained before, the same people invested in the private prison industries are invested in the music industry. The record labels are encouraged to sign more gangster rappers to promote a criminal lifestyle in order to influence more people to end up in a private prison.
Oh, Candace, I ain't done.
Candace claims to know the history of America and how it is corrupted by the Masons, but then pretends to not know the history of the Roman Catholic Church and how it's just pagan Rome in disguise. On top of this, these photos of her conversion ceremony was pretty strange, as the Catholic Church looked awfully similar to a Masonic lodge. In this picture, you can see the church where she did her conversion, and you can quickly notice the Masonic checkerboard floor. You can also notice the 2 Masonic pillars of knowledge that could be found at every Masonic lodge. You can't tell me this doesn't look like a Masonic lodge. Add this with photos like this one, in which Candace is seen doing Masonic hand gestures while wearing a red Trump hat. If Candace admits to knowing about the Freemasons, why is she then using Masonic hand gestures? Why is she also converting to Catholicism? And why does this Catholic church look like a Masonic?
Just like the Bible say the world love its own, Hollywood love their own.
I mean, they took over Hollywood. Hollywood's dying. What's taking over now? YouTube, streaming. So they're gonna take over that, y'all. And I think the Hollywood thing, the left had such a hold on it, right? You speak out against the left if you're in the NBA, NFL, whatever, you're considered racist, whatever. But in the YouTube land, it's open. It hasn't been infiltrated by the left, right? They're old school, I think. It's just we're puppets, y'all. We're puppets. We're just puppets to everybody when it comes to music, when it comes to these things. Like, People that are getting these millions and millions of views, I don't think they're going to let them be free to say what they want. Maybe in the beginning, but after a while, you got too much of an influence. You got to tone it down. You got to be more on this side or that side. Which one do you want? Can't play both.
In a nanosecond.
Dude, me too. So what's the problem?
The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore.
Oh. Well, what happened to it?
We used to, but we destroyed that technology.
Well, why don't you just build it back again?
And it's a painful process to build it back again.
When you said that just now, did it sound stupid to you?
Kind of. All right, so let me get this straight. The reason we haven't been back to the moon since 1969 is because we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it again?
I haven't seen anything that indicates the telemetry data is even in existence, and as I said, even if we had it, we don't have the machines to play it back.
So in 50 years, we've gone from the rotary phone to the smartphone that can film in beautiful 4K. We can stream movies while ordering tacos in 10 seconds, but rebuilding a 1960s rocket is just too hard?
Right, we've been unable to track it down. I mean, we don't know where this telemetry data ended up.
Back then we had computers the size of refrigerators that had less processing power than a modern toaster. And today we have 3D printing advanced robotics. But yeah, let's act like the blueprints for the Saturn V rocket were just drawn on a napkin and thrown in the trash. NASA's budget is $25 billion a year, so where is all that money going? What do you think? Does it sound like we won't or we can't?
The RAND report estimates that since 1975, a jaw-dropping $73 trillion of wealth has migrated from the working class to the elites. That's trillion with a T. That's twice the total annual output of our economy in any given year, and that trend is accelerating. That's because in just 2023, a mind-boggling $3 trillion additional dollars would have gone to working people if wages had garnered the same share of economic growth as they did in the 1970s. And all of this, of course, brings us back to the most stunning takeaway from these incredible numbers, namely that wealth follows power. And with power accumulating and concentrating in fewer and fewer hands, our democracy becomes unable to solve complex problems. And Stephen, this sort of becomes a vicious cycle.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I think that this report points out and sort of parallels that you need to bring up to understand just how catastrophic it's been is the fact that we have been living in a progressively extractive economy. In other words, as the worker share has diminished, the parts of the economy that actually produce things for people that are useful or that improve their lives has diminished, and the economy has become more and more extractive. And just to illustrate that point, to make it very simple, is you think about what share financial services have played in the economy since the 1970s, where it was about 2 to 3% of the economy, meaning hedge funds, investment bankers. Hedge funds actually didn't exist, but investment bankers, people who kind of like, feed off the froth of the economy. Well, it's tripled since then, tripled to almost 8 or 9%. And, at one point just before 2008, before the Great Recession, about 40% of corporate profits came from, companies that just did nothing but shuffle the deck and make money off of money. And so that illustrates like what happens. And that's when you're talking about sort of the political paralysis that precedes it, right? Because the more people are extractive, the more antagonistic relationship they have with the working class. The working class doesn't become a group that you want to lift up and improve their lives. It becomes people that you want to extract money from and make their lives worse.
The Coral Castle, so cool.
Coral Castle is basically a megalithic structure in southern Florida. It's made of like 3,300 tons of limestone, over like a dozen or so monuments that this single guy made over the course of 25 years, all on his own, using no power tools whatsoever. And no one knows how he did it. There's all these celestial illusions that are made, and then all of his monuments are set up celestially, so he has all of the planets in their proper order as the naked eye would see them in the sky. The capstone for me, there's a really rudimentary and frankly like scary looking carving of an alien-like face inside one of the stones. And so the idea is that this guy had either found or been given this celestial knowledge from celestial beings on how to make these megalithic structures. And so if you think like if this guy was able to do that all by himself over the course of 15 years, think of what the Egyptians would have been able to do. Yeah. I think it was an 11-ton gate. It was so precisely set up on a single ball bearing that he had drilled into the ground that you could walk up to it and a child could push it with a finger and it would spin around.
They didn't even know about the bearing until well after his death. It stopped working. And so a team of engineers basically jacks it up and they go, let's try to figure this out. And they found it was like from an old Ford truck or something. And he had so perfectly carved and balanced this thing that it took a team of engineers and heavy equipment to fix it. And this guy had done it by himself.
Yeah.
In the dark.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
In the dark, yeah.
Coral Castles, that's blowing my mind right now. Because that, I mean, what year was that?
It was early 1900s.
Yes.
How is this not a bigger story? That's crazy.
Have you ever been to Antarctica?
Yeah.
Do you believe in the ice wall?
Yeah, I saw the ice wall.
There.
Yeah, you saw it too.
I can't say I'm sure.
No way. We'll talk about it later.
You know, I don't know if the clip's in today's video or in tomorrow's video, but there's a clip that he was just pointing out like, "Oh, you're wearing that chain? Like that's satanic. You're wearing that chain." And I was thinking when I was watching that, kind of like with this too, like remember they made that deal. That deal in Hollywood, you got to let the people know. You got to let the people know. You got to tell us the truth in the movies. Well, when I was seeing that on here, they're starting to do that a lot with these big streamers. Like, oh, he's got a sacrifice room over here, or oh, he's drinking blood over here, or oh, he's biting, little ones' faces off and doing all these crazy things in his cup. Like these streamers now, they're on that side. So guess what? They still got to tell that it's still part of the deal, whether it's in Hollywood or on streaming or YouTube. You got to tell the people the truth. And that's what they're doing, y'all. That's what they're doing when they do clips like this with Mr. Beast and Aiden Ross and Drewski and Kevin Hart in the Diddy room saying, eating cereal with him in bed and doing things like that. Like they got to tell us the truth still. Just because it's not Hollywood, you still got to tell the truth. And they're doing it through the streams, y'all. It's crazy.
He almost leaked it.
Yes. I'm sure of it. Yes.
What about physically?
Well, there are two very well documented cases where Barack Obama used a drone to murder Anwar al-Awlaki.
Yep.
And whether you like the man's politics or not, he was an American citizen who had never been charged with a crime. And then a week later, Obama droned his 16-year-old son and 14-year-old nephew who were sitting in a coffee shop having a cup of tea. Also, American citizens who had never been charged with a crime, and they were children. So yeah, the CIA does all kinds of things like that.
What about domestically?
Well, I keep thinking back to Eric Holder's testimony before the Senate Armed Services Committee when Rand Paul asked him, does the president have the legal authority to murder an American on U.S. soil? Well, Senator, just answer the question. It's a yes or no question. Yes, he has the authority. Now, has he done that? We didn't know. But the Attorney General of the United States said that the president can murder an American citizen in the United States if the president believes that he presents a clear and present danger to the national security. That's sick. It's
unbelievable.
It's anti-constitutional. Not just unconstitutional. It's anti-constitutional.
Here's the play. Look, they know that he's having a heart attack. It's so ridiculous. Look, here's number 3. Look, normal play, right? Look, he's gonna fall over now. Look. Look. Oh, look at the acting. It's all acting, bro. Look. Look, he had a heart attack because of that. Look. He gets up. Look. There's one guy who died playing football. Detroit Lions. You want to Google it? Because what are the odds again? You ready for this one? There he is. Look. What's his name? One NFL player's died on the field. Chuck Hughes. There's an actor, Alex Karras. See Alex Karras?
Yes.
He was an actor. He was on the field. He played with the guy. I think he retired the year before with that guy. That Chuck Hughes, whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who was on the field with Demar Hamlin, his grandson?
No way.
Oh, Ted Karras. There he is.
He was on the field today. What are the chances?
And I'd say, who is Ted Karras' grandpa?
Ted Karras Sr. Alex Karras, great uncle.
Oh, great uncle. Okay. What are the odds?
It's the second.
Yeah, what are the odds? But I know when that was all going on, a big thing was it was because of the that thing that people put in their arms, and they didn't want to put that out because there's an interview. I'll try to remember to get that for tomorrow's video that he did. I think with Shannon Sharp, where he brought up that thing, and he like completely changed the subject. It was like during a Sunday morning pregame football where they do the interviews with the players. They did one with him, and he brought that up the thing, and he changed the subject. But I don't know how I feel about that guy, that other dude. Like he's always saying everything's fake. And what do you guys think of him? I don't really like him. You know what I mean? But I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys want me to keep putting his clips in here because he's got tons of clips.
Tupac. This is a true story. Now I don't like the conspiracy thing, but that day he was in a convertible, like Rolls Royce. He was at the stop sign. And I was on a hockey tournament, so I was in Vegas as well, playing hockey, and the Tyson had his fight. And I jumped out of the car and I ran up to his car. Pac, it's Cube. And all three cars, all these cars, boom, 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 with the guns.
Get out.
No, that's Cube good, man. Hey, that's Cube good. And I go, oh, sorry, man. He goes, you good? I go, I'm good. I'm sorry, guys. Got in the car. So that happens that day when the sun's out, and at night they get shot and there's no cops around.
Here.
That's a true story. I was involved in that.
So in the morning, few hours later, he's gone.
Yeah. Yes. And so where were all of those undercover cops that pulled the guns on me when I tried to approach him sitting in his car convertible?
What are you saying?
I'm just saying it's weird that they were going to blow me away, and I'm Academy Award winner. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because that's 96.
Yeah.
And 96, you're like everywhere.
I'm the man.
Yeah, you're the man in
They're like,
96.
we don't care. Get away. Back up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I got a little story for you guys about Tupac, right? I remember my brother-in-law worked with a rapper in Phoenix. I'm not going to say his name. I'm going to say some things where you guys can do your research, but he got signed to G Unit, got signed to Ludacris, DTP. But he was saying he had a family member that was locked up with Tupac, that famous Black Panther, Matula Shakur, or something like that, right? And he was telling him that Tupac's in Cuba, right? And I know there's a song there, that's a rumor that he's in Cuba, right? People say that. But there's an Eminem song, I think it's called, it's like off a mixtape, Countdown to Armageddon, where he says hip hop hasn't been the same since Tupac moved to Cuba. So these things are out there, and that was supposedly, allegedly, he had a family member locked up with his uncle, and his uncle said he's in Cuba.
Interesting.
You got to give the man credit where credit is due. Everyone says I bash Trump. You got to give him credit. He's at least talking to both sides, right? Like, what was the past party doing? Just one side. Didn't even want to sit down. Didn't even want to call Putin. And he gets a bad rap for having him, in his Cadillac and, sitting in wherever they were at in Alaska, right? I think that's good. He's at least sitting down with both parties, not just one. We're going to hear both sides. We're going to try to get this resolved. So I hope he gets this resolved, y'all. It'll really help him. It'll really, a lot of things that he said he was going to do, he hasn't done. People say it's only been whatever 6 months. I didn't say I was going to do it on day one. He said that, but we're not going to get into that. I'll give him props for that. Talking to both sides, I like that. I like to see him shaking his hand. Right? You gotta keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Right? You got to shake his hand. You got to show respect because he's a boss too. At the end of the day, he can't be like Biden was, calling him a dictator and calling him all these things. Like, no, you got to come at this man with respect, right? So I like it.
I allegedly located the Ark of the Covenant.
Then, do you know anything about the Ethiopian church that supposedly has the Ark of the Covenant in it?
Yeah, I've looked into that. I actually wanted to, and again,
Yeah, you're in the government. You can
yeah,
get something
so
done.
I actually wanted to do a Codel to just, but of course, like we're focusing on other things right now, right? I was like, I need to pay for this for myself, so we're not using taxpayer dollars, but just go check it out. What's interesting is the CIA allegedly located the Ark of the Covenant. I think the
remote viewed.
They remote viewed it. You can actually find that. You should actually pull it up. No, not in Ethiopia, but it was in a Middle Eastern country. They weren't able to locate the actual. I think the New York Post did an article on it where they actually have the handwritten notes on the Ark of the Covenant location. And they remote viewed it.
Decades-old CIA documents on Ark of the Covenant resurfaced amid classified group text spat.
Wait, like, yeah.
It was a group text argument that caused this stuff to be released.
No, check out, pull up the New York Post one because they actually have the handwritten notes from the remote viewer that actually documents it. This is wild because it actually goes into descriptions of angels too. This is also on CIA documents. This happened recently. This was like a couple months ago that this just kind of came all out. 1988. 5 December 1988. Wow. So scroll down.
So in '88 they found the Ark of the Covenant?
Allegedly they remote viewed it. We don't know if they followed up. I feel like I'm describing like an Indiana Jones movie, but this is actually from the CIA.
This target is located somewhere in the Middle East, as the language spoken by individuals present seemed to be Arabic.
We don't know how far it went, and I definitely have questions, but this would not be the first time that a government would have looked for something, especially because people theorize that the Ark of the Covenant had these abilities as a super weapon.
So it's somewhere in the Middle East. Visuals of surrounding buildings indicated that the area, the presence of mosque domes. Individuals in the area were clothed in virtually all white, had black hair and dark eyes. One figure I honed in on wore a mustache. The target is hidden underground, dark and wet, were all aspects of the location of the target. The only problem I ever have with these things is if these places are all controlled by terrorists and it's all, dictators and crazy people over there. If they found out that the Ark was there, they would fucking take it.
Well, I think there's this aspect of, if you look at from a biblical perspective, no one would be able to access it anyways because it would be protected, right? That's what the Bible says.
It says here too. Cannot be opened until the time is.
What do you guys think of her?
It's the time to open the container. The mechanisms of lock systems will be found to be fairly simple. Individuals opening the container by prying or striking are destroyed by the container's protectors.
Well, what's interesting is, remember, in the Bible it always talks about how there had to be like a...
Through the use of a power unknown to us.
They melt you.
Bro, yeah.
Well, so they had to, go through this special process of being considered, holy, basically, to access it. So all that to say that there's something out there, right?
No, I don't like her. I feel like they use that, I'm not saying it's a conspiracy, but that type of vibe. Like, I feel like they told her, here, read these you're going on Rogan, read these, study them, and go preach, right? Go talk to our people. We're losing them. We need to get them back. We need to talk about something that, we need to talk about that, right? Just like the left does. They do that with the LGB, they do that with the, they do that with guns, they do that with, those type of things. When they go on their podcast, that's what they're talking about. You know what I mean? So the right does the same thing. It's just catering to their people, to their audience. That's what I feel like she was. I feel like they gave her a pamphlet, study this, and talk about it on Rogan tomorrow. That's what I think. I don't like her. What do you guys think?
East was created by a deep state scholar by the name of Alfred Thayer Mahan. Alfred Thayer Mahan, M-A-H-A-N, in 1901 created the term Middle East. It doesn't exist. It's a fraudulent term. It's not organic. It's another way for the Western powers through the Suez Canal to castrate Africa, or our keeping, to cut us off from what is called northeastern Israel, or northeastern Africa, or Israel. Israel is actually northeastern Africa, or Al-Qibla. So we've been lied to again.
I'm tired of being right. You guys, I am tired about being right about this Mountain Dew conspiracy because we're about to have a blackout. Remember I told you guys to watch out for that flavor Baja Midnight? Well, guess what? Taco Bell is set to launch a permanent new flavor, Baja Midnight. Now, isn't it weird that Rosie O'Donnell puts out this cryptic message just last week?
Black out the system. black out the system.
And of course, she's being all dramatic with a black hoodie, but she's clearly alluding to something like this. Blackoutthesystem.com just popped up, and their slogan says, "We're not asking, we're shutting it down." You guys, this is a call to action for a mass blackout to happen all over the United States, happening on September 16th through the 20th. And this is what they want you to do. No work, no spending, no travel, no projects, no events, no restaurants, no backing out. Yeah, this sounds really safe for our economy.
First of all, we're blacking out the system September the 17th. I'm talking about shutting down the whole grid, the economy, everything. No spending, no working, all of it.
Ain't nobody listening to you
We have
guys.
created a Discord to ensure that
Shutting down the grid. You guys, never in a million years I would expect it that a blackout would be self-inflicted by its own citizens. Do they not know what kind of chaos ensues from this? I mean, have we not all seen The Purge? I mean, what if even cops participate in this? So we just have a lawless land across 50 states. Got it. Not only that, 28 countries around the world are supporting this. Of course they would, because some of those people could be our enemies and they want a shutdown to happen. So I guess it's just a coincidence. While all this is going on, Mountain Dew releases Baja Midnight as a permanent new flavor, a new flavor that they've had in 20 years. I'm 30-0 at this point. Make sure you guys get my survival guide, link in bio, but what do you guys think about all this? Let me know below.
I don't got time for that. Maybe these young college kids that are out walking the streets during the day, no job, complaining about they don't have, they got too much student loan debt, right? Those people might participate in it. But the everyday person, I got bills to pay, I got a kid to feed, I got time. If I need gas, I need to go get it. You know what I mean? Like, and then they got Rosie O'Donnell. Is Rosie O'Donnell gonna do this? You know what I mean? Like Rosie O'Donnell, your spokesperson, really? That's gonna wake the people up. Get out of here.
Have you seen John Travolta at the Grease reunion?
Yes. Has he got a new head? Scary.
He looks our age.
Yeah.
And not fake our age. Yeah. He looks... No, Carl. He looks our age.
They gave you a new head?
He's got a new everything. Yeah, look at this. Oh.
Oh, aye. He's got a new head. I told you, they give them new heads now.
I'd get stuck into him. He's fucking gorgeous.
Kris Jenner, new head.
Oh. Yeah.
Kris Jenner is class, though. Yeah, you given new heads.
Oh, I need to get hair.
I
That's all.
You're actually, he was as bald as you. Look at
They just give you a new head.
It's that's the maddest one I've seen.
But is that just the hair? Because I don't think I think he is still bald, isn't he? That's a wig.
No.
I'm pretty sure he's still bald.
No.
That's a wig.
No.
That is a glue-on toupee.
Yeah. What about the rest
he's
of his
been
head?
bald forever.
Yeah, no, this is what he looks like without the hair.
It's not going to be funny, is it?
Oh, right, he looks like Batista. That's not a bad person to look like when you're 70-odd.
Well, Batista's he's 71.
What?
Here we go. If you want a bucket of Coors Light,
it is
24 Coors Light's gonna run you $2.99. Keep going there. You want Topo Chico 24 cans, $2.90.
You know what's sad? People that go and buy those think they're ballers. Think they're bosses, right? Getting ripped the hell off. They go and buy those and they think they're a baller. I got a case of whatever it was, Michelob or whatever. Like I paid $2.90 for it. They're gonna stunt on some girls with that. Like that's crazy. Hell no. I don't care if I was a millionaire. I'm going to the CVS down the street. I'm gonna get that 24 pack. I'm gonna put it in my sink with some ice and I'm gonna chill in the hotel room with some music and drink it for $25. We'll be modest, $40. We're in Vegas, right? $40 for that 24 pack. I ain't paying no $2.90.
It's all $2.99 for any type of. Oh, they upcharge you on the High Noon. High Noon's gonna run you $3.10 for 24 High Noons. Let's go over to the. You want some mixed cocktails? Cocktails gonna run you $40 for a cocktail.
Glass. Hopefully this don't get copyrighted with that music.
Yep, $40 for a Bloody Mary. Watermelon drink. You want shots? You can get 12 shots. You want shots? You're gonna get 12 shots for $190. Get ready to spend if you're coming into the Go Pool. Good vibes though.
Yeah.
But damn.
Nobody there.
I want to get some food. Chicken tender platter, $90. It's actually not terrible for 20 chicken tenders. The food's not. It's pretty reasonable. The food, I'd say. 12
ain't nobody
cheeseburger
really going there
sliders,
to
$90. Yeah, there you go.
In India tells you, they took me into a room and these good looking guys came in and then they turned into animals. They turned into monsters. I don't know what they were. They all tell you they went in this room. There was a whole bunch of people they were watching. They took these children to an altar and the altar is a bed. And we have ran into altars that are beds all over the planet Earth, just like in the Bible, the bed of King Og, the altar that they took as a trophy to shut down that portal and King Og being Nephilim. I mean, that's a biblical principle. And when the Bible says that we're temples, he's not playing. We are meant to be sacred space. All of us are. And one of the ways that you slap Jesus in the face and you pervert all that is literally turn human beings into your sacred space for your domination, for your dominion, for your spiritual awareness.
Yeah, I would never unalive myself. I'll just say that before I post this video. This is the real shit. And this is why they don't want you talking about Epstein. They don't like that. That's why I'm shadow banned. That's why my last account got fucking shut down on TikTok with 106,000 followers. That's why I got feds in my inbox fucking trying to coerce me into saying some dumb shit. Fuck y'all. Massive undercover operation has exposed multiple SEX offenders on children. Okay? Las Vegas. This happened today. I want you to take notice of that second name there. Tommy Boy, okay? You want to know who that guy is? The executive director at the Israeli National Cyber Directorate.
Wow.
Oh, so you're the guy. So I got a pedo who's been censoring my shit. I love this fucking world we're living in. By the way, take note of who he works for. This guy worked directly under, you know, fucking dude. What the fuck?
Who remembers sleeping at a friend's house and waking up before them?
Bro, you wanted to jet out that
The worst.
Let's say you were up an hour, hour and a half before your
No,
friend.
just an hour.
That shit felt like an eternity.
Yeah, I was ready to leave.
It was the most
Forgot about that.
uncomfortable feeling.
Like, what do I do?
The house is just different. The temperature's always way different than you're used to.
The whole game plan different.
Can't use the bathroom like you want to.
Yeah, you don't know what they're about right now.
You don't know nothing about nothing.
The rules are different.
Way different.
It's weird.
If they ask you to do
Yeah.
something, you got to do it, you know?
And then you're just like this extra member of the family that no one's talking to.
You always wake up first thing in the morning with no cover, just freezing, weird ass family.
Slept in some weird spots in my
Oh,
life.
They didn't have a bed for you.
Like now, kids are
Yeah.
spoiled. They're
Mhm.
gonna be in your room with some bed or something.
Yeah.
Back when we was a kid, you sleeping somewhere.
Couch in the
Bro,
living
I
room.
slept on many a floor.
It was like almost
Many a floor.
commonplace. You got a sheet and a cover, you're living good. You got a pillow?
Little snot-nosed brother always in your face. Talking about, what you doing? The food was always trash.
Try to make you eat Wheaties.
Try to make you eat a healthy breakfast.
What we eating Post? Y'all ain't got no good shit.
Yeah,
With that
that-
nasty ass milk, drinking skim milk.
The dad walked through in his shitty underwear and his tighty whities like you're not even there.
Many a times I'd call my mom like, you gotta come get me.
Dude, I remember specifically going over this guy's house. He did have a Sega Genesis. We played Altered Beast. That's all we had in common, dog. That was it. We played Altered Beast. And then after that, shit got weird.
Looking at each other like, what?
Shit got weird. His mom was in the room with us. I'm just like, I don't know if this was the right move right here.
That
What are we about to
feeling-
do for the next couple hours?
That feeling of like, well, can I use your phone?
I immediately went to the phone. And then I didn't even tell him my mom was coming. My mom just shows
I've done
up.
that. Swear to God.
She just shows up and they're like, oh, they're all surprised. I'm like, I'm sorry. I just,
gotta go.
Shit got, it just wasn't what I thought was going to happen.
And they took it so personal.
Was this the wrong move? That's hilarious, y'all. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. If you made it this far, y'all know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get to, what did I say, 3,000 likes? Let's get to 3,000 likes, y'all. It's never been done. That would make my day, y'all. That would make my day. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Gonna go to Walmart. It's a little early. I woke up at 4. Mama Bear woke up at 6. It was one of those days. Today, my energy was just low. If you noticed, I went from this to this, from clip to clip, a hat, from no hat to a hat. I did half the video and I was just, if you can tell in the beginning, I was just freaking falling asleep, y'all. That coffee just did the opposite for me. So I said, you know what, cut it out. I'll go lay down for a little bit. The baby's taking a nap. I'm gonna go nap next to him. Ate some breakfast, bacon and eggs, got my energy back. Second half of the video went a lot better, y'all. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And my Twitch stream link is below. Don't worry, I'm going to stream on both at the same time. I'm going to be on Twitch. Yesterday I did a stream, but I was just on Twitch, right? I'm trying to figure out, I don't want to put my live stream on my big channel. I want to put it on my 2.0 channel, which the link's in the button down below. Make sure you guys go over there and subscribe if you want to see my live streams. And oh yeah, I got to get this going. So that's what I'm doing. I can't figure out how to unlink my my big channel and link up my little channel. It's simple as that. So once I figure that out, when I get back from Walmart and all that, I'm going to make sure to do that. But I want to give a special shout out to my first member. I just saw this. I haven't looked at this in a while, so I apologize. I'm late to it. But shout out to Mark Tenari. I appreciate it, brother. And once we get those live streams going on my second channel, I would like for you to maybe be a mod or something on the stream. When I go live, you can, kind of control the chat, so that you're going to be the first up for that. So anybody else that wants to, join in on that, y'all can hit my membership or whatever. Y'all, you don't have to. I'm going to pick some, very few ones, but if you're a member, you're automatically put to the front, y'all. So Mark Tenari, I got something for you. If you're interested when I go live, you don't have to be there all the time, but, just taking care of the trolls, putting them on a timeout. Sometimes some trolls need to be on a timeout, and that'll be your job to be in control of that, brother, if you're interested. But I appreciate the membership, bro. I really do. That was crazy. When I looked yesterday, I wasn't expecting that, and I saw that. I was like, wait, what? And then I looked, I was like, man. So I had to give you a shout out. Sorry it took a while. I don't look at that often because I got kind of bad backlash when I posted that post for members calling me a sellout and whatnot. But I just turned it on, right? Can't hurt, right? But there's gonna be some perks for you, so I appreciate it. But anyways, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. This is Segovia, signing out of the man cave. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I got a nice 8 hours of sleep, energy's up, coffee does its job, and we'll have a good time. Later.